Welcome everybody to an awesome episode of Figure It Out, the show where we incorporate our love for figures with everything else we would like to talk about. We took last week off, but we are back and ready to go. Let me introduce our panel, starting off with Pete. What's going on, Pete?
What's up, everybody? I got a nice big old glass of scotch.
Nice.
So this way, and that's all for the. What's that?
No,
this is all for the Kickstarter thing. I'm telling you right now.
How far did you get in Lucifer? I finished it over the weekend.
So I'm watching this with my mother since she was really into the show when it was on regular TV. So we're kind of taking it maybe an episode or two at a time. We're up to episode 12 of season 5 at this point. So
we got
more to go. Okay. Yeah. I just gotta say the Allstate dude, I don't remember the actor's name, but he's phenomenal in his role. No spoilers, but yeah, it's so great seeing, and especially seeing him and DB Woodside together again. Like it's a 24 throwback. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
They were brothers. Yes,
I forgot about that. Okay, see, I go back to him on Major League Serrano.
Oh man, come on!
God, that's right.
Hats for bats. Keep bats warm.
That's insane, because I only knew DB Woodside from the show Suits, so I was just like, "Oh, okay." I had no idea who this guy was before that. I got into 24 late. Like I think I started binging it like a year and a half ago, and then it started to become redundant, so I stopped. So I never finished it.
The later seasons do, but it's a fun show.
Yeah, it just reminded me of everything I grew to hate about the A-Team. How it was just like, all right, you guys.
Well, you keep doing things that make me not like you. You know what I'm saying?
I grew to dislike about the A-Team. I don't think the show's bad, but it just became redundant after a while. It was just like, all right, come on, guys, come on,
kids.
All right, Jaydee, what's going on, man? How you doing?
What is up, everybody? How's it going on Streamland, folks?
I love
everybody's
the
okay.
Jaydee. Love the Batman.
You like it? You like it?
Yeah. I love it because Jaydee will tell you, stop giving me Batman, but we'll
we're Batman.
He will love up some Batman every day, but try to tell you, I don't want any.
You know what? I'm wearing this because I heard that there may be a Batman animated series relaunch.
There is.
What? I didn't know this. Oh shit.
Yeah. By Matt Reeves. J.J. Abrams and what's his name?
Bruce Timm.
Yeah.
Yep. And I am speculating that huge deal Robert Pattinson signed. He will probably be the voice for that Batman.
Wow, that's big.
Yeah,
so that's major.
Awesome news, man.
I kind of feel like I think Robert Pattinson signed the same deal with Warner that Ben did back when he was trying to promote Live by Night. No one cared about it.
Oh man, that died, man. That was the one with Zoe Saldana, right?
Yes. Yeah. Let me say this. I cried every interview I saw him do because they would go, Ben, so Live by the Night. And he would go, yeah, man, I enjoy it. And it's like, all right, so the Batman, are you Batman or not? And he would just go, can we talk about my movie, please? They just were like, we don't care, Ben. We don't care. Are you Batman?
It wasn't a good movie. It really wasn't.
That did not help. That did not help. But good premise, but you know.
Yeah, Tampa Mafia bootlegging.
Should have been better, but wasn't.
Should have been.
Representing our New York Knicks, Joel. What's going on, Joel?
What's up, guys? Chilling.
All right. Did everybody have a good holiday weekend? Was holiday weekend good for you?
Yeah.
Nice and quiet. I mean, it fucking poured every damn day but yesterday. But
yep.
Do what you can with it.
I checked the weather on Saturday and it said it was supposed to rain all week. And then I checked it again Sunday and it was just like, no, the rest of the week will be cool. Just the one day you guys need it to not rain. It's gonna rain. But all right, let's get into this. I want to start with this because Pete already has the shot ready. So I want to start off with Pete's thoughts on Aaron Taylor Johnson being cast as Kraven officially. Go ahead, Pete. Let it loose. Go ahead, man.
I do want to preface that even I'm not bad enough that this is just a shot. All right, I would like ideally for this to last me the whole show, but it's probably not gonna. That's why I said I only have a little bit left, and this is a little bit. So I said, let me just pour the whole damn thing in. So I'd rather not run out of whiskey tonight.
Yeah.
Nevertheless,
with his friend. Yeah.
I had no disrespect to Aaron Taylor Johnson. I like the kid as an actor. I've liked what I've seen him in. I liked Kick-Ass. I didn't think it was a bad movie. It was entertaining. That's all I asked for. I thought it was a great Quicksilver. I have no issues, and I don't like to compare notes between him and the other kid with the 3 names. I also freaking forget his name. Dude from American Horror Story and whatnot, from the X-Men franchise.
Yeah,
Evan Peters.
Evan Peters. I thought there was a 3rd name in there. All right, never mind.
Evan Peters.
Evan Quicksilver Peters.
Yeah, all right, there we go. Thanks, Jay. Like they're 2 different characters, basically. So like, why compare? Right. With that said, my only problem with this, my only reason for saying that everyone at Sony Pictures should be fired and shunned by their families, never allowed in another holiday again, no names inscribed on their tombstones. They are just forgotten by history and life and everyone. They're just complete pariahs in my eyes. Why cast somebody that we've seen already in a canonical movie? This is supposed to be canon with Spider-Man now. That's the new deal that Sony signed with Disney. And this is ridiculous because all of us as comic book fans, we know that we're going to have to field that question of why the fast guy who got killed in Avengers is now in Spider-Man. Because eventually the hope is he's going to be in Spider-Man.
To be fair, though, just really quickly, Pete, anything you hear from, because this is a Sony casting, so anything you hear from Sony, approach Sony the same way everyone had to with the Netflix Marvel shows. That they at some point will connect to the movies, but the movies will probably never acknowledge that they exist.
Then why fucking bother? Why bother at all?
Because that's how Sony does it.
That's I mean, because
and we're back to they're pariahs, so shunned by their family, never invited to Christmas, not even invited to like the smaller holidays like Easter or Thanksgiving or anything. You're gone. You're done. Well, you be a hermit in the woods. Nobody wants to hear from you.
You gotta look at it like this, Pete. Me and Joel said this years ago when when they announced the Venom movie and then cast Tom Hardy. Apparently, Sony's formula for these Spider-Man spinoffs is make movies no one asked for and cast big names. Because there are people who have no idea who Kraven is, but they know who Aaron Taylor Johnson is. They know who Tom Hardy is.
Do they? They know that he sold in Godzilla. They know he sold tickets in Kick-Ass. They know he sold tickets in Avengers. So they know his face is recognizable. But I think the producers went at it from the standpoint of, well, they're already fudging things a bit with having Evan Peters show up in the MCU and being acknowledged as their Pietro. And then they're already cast. I forgot the actress's name. That she's in the Eternals, that she was also in the
broad from Captain
Marvel. That happened before with the dude who played the wizard in Shazam. Like it happens often. We
Juwaan Hansu,
but he wasn't in a DC flick. No, totally different. You can do that.
He was in multiple DC flicks. Yeah. He was in Aquaman.
No, he was in Aquaman and Shazam.
Where was he in Aquaman?
But you couldn't tell.
He was the fish person.
Right. He was one of the fish. He was like the fish king or something.
He was the fisherman king.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, well, I mean, we barely seen him, though. Like, he was all digitized up.
I get it, but I'll say this. We are putting too much stock in casual viewers' mindsets. Remember, this is the same casual audience that Warner Brothers said, we can't have 2 Jokers because it'll confuse people. Only for them to give us a Joker in TV, the same time they were giving us a Joker in the movies, and literally no one questioned it. Fans are smarter. Casual people are smarter than studios give them credit for. So I don't think they'll go into Kraven going, but he was just that speed guy. I honestly think they probably forgot.
They probably didn't recognize him.
No, they didn't forget.
They'll forget. They'll forget.
Because they draw upon his history. There's a formula. You know, I mentioned him being in Godzilla, him being in Avengers, him being in Kick-Ass, right? And there's a formula to how much screen time they had in the movie and how much money did that movie make. You know, you cross the I, you dot the T, you add the Y, and they can project this much dollars coming from him in this movie. It is a legitimate formula. I don't know what it is, but you know, Fat Man on Batman, they've talked about it quite a few times. So they did not forget. They just said, okay, we can make this work. He fits our budget, and we could draw this much from him. So
Yeah, no.
cost versus expenditures work.
I don't think the studio forgot. I'm saying I think fans, by the time they sit down and watch Kraven, they won't remember who the hell Quicksilver was.
So by that definition, they're not smarter than we give them credit for.
Well, no, it's just, to me,
ones aren't, though.
No, but to me, it's a thing that to a casual viewer, this Kraven movie doesn't take place in the MCU. So at the end of the day, it's like even if you do recognize them, it's not the same. It's not the same battlefield.
Disney needs to just buy Sony and fire everyone, and then make
that
sure that they never work in the
Sony
industry again.
Sony will never let that happen. It just makes them too much money. It just
they screwed up.
I'm calling for a fucking like one of those guerrilla buyouts, just like stocks and shit.
Bro,
and
they had a chance. They could have pushed super hard to get Spider-Man back, right? Because Sony did that thing where they dropped the ball and it was dying, but they were in the middle of handling the Fox thing. They couldn't fight two fronts.
Couldn't do it on two fronts, right?
Right.
I'm also going to say that those emails leaking is how we got the shared universe.
Yeah.
Spider-Man in the MCU.
Yeah.
That was the extent that Sony was ever willing to give Marvel, because they understand how much money Spider-Man makes them. Even if the movies aren't good, it just makes them a shit ton of money. It just does.
Dude, I think those video games made almost as much as that first movie did.
Exactly. It's just printable money. It's just printable money. So to bring it back, Pete, the only reason why I wasn't as upset, and I know we wanted our boy, God, I'm completely forgetting his name.
Stefan Kapichik.
Yes, we would have loved to have seen him as Kraven. Apparently, this new movie Bullet Train that's coming out with Brad Pitt and everything, they saw that in Aaron's performance in that, and it blew them away. But they were also looking at John David Washington, Keanu Reeves. Apparently, at some point, it was supposed to be a Joel Kinnaman type, which to me means they were looking at Joel Kinnaman at some point. Joel Kinnaman was Rick Flag in Suicide Squad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You see, but he's flat.
I'm sorry, is Rick
He's
Flag.
flat too, dude. You know, he couldn't carry RoboCop. RoboCop died on the vine with him.
Way more than his fault, though, because
that was a bad movie. Yeah, that was just a bad movie. I enjoyed it, but it was definitely a bad
He was a
movie.
Power Ranger.
It really was.
I just want it to fail miserably so Sony learns its lesson. That's all I ask for.
Well,
everyone gets fired and they never make
forever
another Spider-Man movie again.
I will forever be with you on that. That Sony has shown that they have to let it go. They have to. Yeah. They're giving us a fucking Madam Web movie. Like, what are you doing?
Who asked for that?
What are you doing right now? Who asked for any of this shit?
I didn't ask for Morbius.
Any of this.
Morbius is shitty.
Nobody asked for any of this. I didn't ask for a Venom movie. I really didn't.
Nothing.
I have no faith in that either.
At the end of the day, all we needed Sony to do was just create more Spider-Man movies. And that's why I said, let Feige keep Peter. And why not just capitalize on Miles Morales if you're Sony? Just capitalize on Miles. Just do that. It's and then you know what would be mind-blowing?
They still might.
Sony? You could bring the two of them together for this huge crossover. You know what I'm saying? And there's no way Feige would say no to that. He understands.
Still not out of the realm of possibility.
No,
not.
It's not. I'm just saying, Joel, start with Spider-Man, then build these villains. But you're building villains that you're essentially making anti-heroes. So what are you going to do when you bring the hero back in? What the fuck is he going to fight? You've just made friends with everybody. So it's like...
Start in the middle now.
So let me throw this out there.
Go ahead, Jaydee.
You push until you get to phase 6, which is the MCU Secret War, and then you reboot everything. Because by that time,
everybody will age out.
Will have aged out. Yes.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Start from scratch.
Very good idea.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. It's just, to me, and it's funny that you said that, Pete, because Sony just came out yesterday. It was like, we are not selling anything. We are going to be here till the day everybody dies. But look,
well, in that case, it's time to kidnap their families. Just I'm just throwing it out there as a possible idea.
We will just edit.
Pete, we're trying to shy away from the stereotypes of the mafia. Don't be the one who.
I'm not saying I'm advocating for it. I'm just saying that, like, if Kevin Feige wanted to get serious, that's the way to go.
I'm just picturing Pete at like a pier, standing by himself, lighting a cigar. And then, like in the distance, we're seeing these families getting thrown in the.
I see something totally different. I see someone, unfortunately, giving Pete a red carpet pass to any premiere, and him calling people out right there in the spot. Fuck you, you scumbag! Get that shit up already.
Yep, Pete would definitely be how, like,
there would be a bottle of Glenlivet in that limo, I'm telling you right now. And when I got out of it, it would be empty. And then it's on.
But no, I will say again, the only reason why I wasn't as upset about the casting of it, even though I do think Aaron Taylor Johnson is a good actor.
I agree.
Is just because I don't care anything about this universe that they're building.
But you know what else though too? He's not like, I think I see Kraven as like this, super badass, like wild game hunter. And then I look at this dude and he's just like, I'm not intimidated by him.
Aaron Taylor Johnson can put on some muscle.
He sure can.
I want to see him do it because
anybody can put on.
I'll just say that.
I'll take an example in what
he was even big in the last Kick-Ass. He was pretty.
He was big in the last Kick-Ass and Kick-Ass 2.
Yeah, he was.
He was cut up, but he wasn't like a big dude.
Bigger.
Well, I will say this. Think about when you saw. I'm trying to think. Argo, right? And then think about when you saw Batman versus Superman. That's two completely different Ben Afflecks.
I've never seen Argo, but
if Ben could be able to
look at him now compared to that.
Yeah, look at him now. So I'm like, if Ben can transform his body like that, I think Aaron Taylor can find some way in the middle.
Yeah, there'll be a medium.
We just have to realistically set our mindset to he's not going to be as big as he was in the comics.
Right. I just want him to be imposing. That's
right. Yeah.
What's he gonna do exactly? What is the purpose of this movie? Who's he hunting? Morbius? Is this coming after Morbius?
The writer said he wants Spider-Man in the movie, but we'll see.
That's gonna be difficult because I tell you right now, whatever deal they have with Kevin made it very clear. Until our deal is up, I don't know how comfortable I am with you putting Spider-Man that's in our universe in your shit.
But like we know it's gonna happen. Like
at some point for sure. But to me, I find it very hard to believe that this is where they decide to introduce Spider-Man in this Sony universe when you have a whole fucking Venom that you should have been did that to if that was on the table.
Still don't know. Well, it's still early.
That's possible.
I got a better idea than my previous, let's say, bad idea. That was a bad idea. Kevin Feige should kidnap all of Sony's upper echelon and then do what the Joker did. Just throw like a metal pipe in the center of him, close the door. Only one of you gets out. And then that person is in charge, like you're the president of Spider-Man going forward.
The problem is that experiment should end with Kevin coming in and knocking the winner out and saying, "I'll just take that."
I'm not saying that's a fantastic addendum. I'm with it.
But Jaydee, what are your thoughts on this casting?
I don't think Kraven is a strong enough character. How about that? Yeah. You know, the only good story was the Kraven Last Hunt story, and that ended with him popping himself. That's all. I mean, can you name any other good story Kraven was in that moved mountains? No.
I can't think of many Morbius stories that move mountains, really.
Wait now. Torment.
Okay.
The original Spider-Man, I think it's 1 through 6.
Time out. That was the point I was just about to make, Pete. Is there any non-Spider-Man involved Morbius stories?
Well, at least,
okay,
Morbius,
that's my point. Yeah, that's my point.
Morbius led his own title 2 different times. There was the recent reboot when they were talking about, okay, we're going to make a movie, and they trying to make him, some junkie or whatever. That was trying to hit blood. But then there was the reboot during the Midnight Sun era in the 90s.
Midnight Sun's worth the time for sure.
Right, and that ran, I think, maybe 30, almost 40 issues. So Kraven didn't have that, right? And then we had his son, who was a Scarface wannabe, right? They did the miniseries with the half black and white covers.
That was nonsense.
So I don't think Kraven is strong enough a character. And it just dawned on me right now, while you guys are talking about this, that it's his own movie. I thought he was going to be the villain in another Spider-Man film.
He should have been.
He's going to leave his own vehicle.
What the plan was.
I'm going to be honest with you. Me and Joel said this on the podcast we did Monday, Much Ado About Nothing. What they're doing for Spider-Man 3 was not the plan the entire time. Once COVID hit and kind of put a lapse in Marvel's scheduling for their shows, I think they lucked into a happy accident of going to Sony and going, what if we opened up the multiverse and allowed Spider-Man's movie to be a multiverse kind of thing? And I think Sony said, okay, cool. Because remember, before COVID really hit, there were rumors everywhere that it was Kraven that was going to be the villain of Spider-Man 3. So I
hunting him down, right?
I do believe Kraven was supposed to be Spider-Man 3. And then once COVID hit and Marvel was like, well, now we have to move, we have to push WandaVision up, Doctor Strange back. It left a gaping hole for Spider-Man to be in between them. And I think they kind of were like, well, wait a minute. We'll take Kraven, give him his own movie. You can do a multiverse and incorporate Spider-Man in.
But they could still do Kraven if they just, I don't remember if I said it here or not when I said it, but I know I've said it, where they could still do Kraven in the multiverse if they just, played around with it a little bit, because the MCU is notorious for taking villains, either amping them up, or in the case of, like we were talking before we started filming, Whiplash / Crimson Dynamo, coupling people together. And if you're going to do a Spider-Verse, a Spider-Man multiverse, you can bring in a Moreland type character, an inheritor, and you make it Kraven, the fucking intergalactic spider hunter.
Yeah.
And you have him tracking down Spider-Man throughout the multiverse and killing them viciously. That's how you bring Kraven, and you make him a badass.
But he's still not a lead. He's still not. He's the lieutenant villain of a game, if you're lucky.
But at that point, I mean, neither was the Vulture, neither was Mysterio.
Okay.
So, at this point, we're sans Green Goblin or Dr. Octopus or even Venom.
Okay.
So to me, I'd be fine with that idea, Pete. Who knows? That could be. Apparently, according to this the Sony executive, all of this is about to weave together very soon. According to him.
Damn it, Kevin, hire me already. I'm sick of this shit. I'm writing this. I'm doing your homework for you.
According to the Sony exec, he said, wait till you see Venom 2, wait till you see Spider-Man 3. It'll explain how this all comes together. So Kraven could be a can that they're just kicking down the road, that they want to establish first and then bring into something Spider-Man-wise. But again, who knows what Sony is doing? Because I find it hard to believe that Kevin is sitting somewhere and it's like, oh, Madam Web. Yeah, no, I can't wait for that. What? No, he's like, keep all that away from me. Don't bring any of that near me. But all right, let's. Joel, do you want to quickly give your thoughts? We talked about this yesterday.
We talked about it twice. We talked about it yesterday, and we talked a little bit yesterday, and then last week. But yeah, like I said, I don't have any problems with it because I do like him. Like I said, the only thing that really bothers me is that he's always had like this soft voice. It just doesn't, for a guy who's been posing as Kraven, it just doesn't make to work. But we'll see. Like I'm open to seeing it because I think he could pull off the look. I think he's a good actor. I just want to see how they pull it off. With the right writer, anything could technically work, but I just like with Venom, like I didn't know how they were gonna fucking pull it off without the big giant spider on him, the classics. But they did. Like those white veins, it works for me. It's still not 100%, but it works for me. Visually, Venom looks great, in my opinion. We'll see how Carnage ends up looking, and Morbius so far looks pretty decent, at least visually. I don't know how the movie's gonna look. And the same thing with Kraven. Look, they drag us in with the good actor, and that's step one. And then visually, can they bring me in? Like, can he look the part? That's 2. Then is the movie good? We'll go from there.
Yeah, I approach these as you got an actor I know,
cool.
Now it's about, can something in your story hit the geek in me that I can go, if the movie itself was bad, at least you hit certain points. Like the Morbius trailer, anyone that remembers the original Morbius comic, they got a lot from that comic just within that trailer. So I'm like, it looks like they're gonna hit a lot of really accurate points in this. I could live with that. So to me, that's where my bar is with Sony in these movies. Do something that the accuracy, scratch that accuracy itch that I have when it comes to these characters, and I think I could exist.
Tolerate it.
I could exist in a world where I'm like, I didn't hate this. You know what I'm saying?
But do you want to tolerate it, or do you want to be like, oh, I'm looking forward to seeing it? Because I'm not.
No, because you're giving me movies about characters I don't want to see exist outside of Spider-Man. So
do I want to be super excited for every movie? Yes, but like, that's not real. I mean,
like my love is not real. It's not.
That's not real thing. So like, I'm looking at it as best as I can, and I know that it's not gonna be perfect. So I'm just gonna go in as long as it looks like Kraven, it sounds like Kraven. That's already a decent step in the right direction.
Yeah. And again, the story. We got to see
what's the story?
Who are you hunting? Like, you can't give me a story where you're hunting animals. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta be him hunting. Yeah, that's not gonna go over well.
It's not gonna go over well at all. So it's like, who are you hunting? Again,
Venom.
Hunting Venom.
No, he should hunt Venom. He really should.
I'd be fine with that. We speculated on that when they were talking about Kraven a long time ago.
Yes, that's true.
Hunt Venom.
Not a bad idea.
Again, if you had introduced Miles Morales at some point, you could have hunted Miles Morales. So it's like you have things you could do. It now comes down to,
and it has a release date. Like we talked about it yesterday. Kraven it comes out in 2023.
Right. So we'll see what happens between now and then. Like Joel said, the director wants Spider-Man in it, but as we know, directors can want all they want.
Right.
Don't mean they're getting anything. So we'll
and
see.
Why don't we have a director for the Mahershala Ali Blade yet?
I think they're just taking their time with it. They just got the writer. I think they're surveying, because at the end of the day, I think they do want a black director for it. Because they just got a black writer. So it's just the idea of I also think they're waiting out to see who the hell is the director for this Black Superman. And then I think
they're fighting over the same directors.
Right, they'll probably feast on whoever doesn't take, like whoever's left over from that. So
they're pushing Regina King, and I'm like, I didn't even know she was a director.
Bitter Roots comic.
Oh no, Regina King is a really good director.
Really?
She even directed some of the episodes of Watchmen.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So she is a gifted director. She reminds me of like how Ben Affleck just came out of nowhere with Argo, and it was just like, okay.
Well, she grew up in the industry, so I mean,
sure. Yeah. Yep. So I think Blade is just waiting on seeing whoever's left over, or if someone big emerges, like the next big black director emerges from out of nowhere, because how they like to corner that. It's what they did with the Eternals director.
They like young directors. Yes.
Yeah, no one heard of her before she got
her Oscar.
No, before she got attached to Eternals. Mm-hmm. No one really heard of her.
She was already on then, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but all right, let's move on. All right. Discovery has bought a chapter or a division of Warner Media.
They've merged.
AT&T. Apparently AT&T is trying its best to get from up under everything Warner. They're like, we did not know that y'all were this fucking toxic. We can't do this shit.
So they gave it up.
They didn't give it up fully yet. They still share like portions of it.
Right.
Like AT&T, I think what AT&T is doing, which is genius. I think they're going, all right, if we give this to somebody and they start to make it good, we still have some ownership of it to collect the dollars and cents without any of the culpability. So like if the movies are bad, they can go, well, Discovery, look, it's them, not us. But if it's good, they can go, we cast a check yesterday, and look, hey, we were smart enough to outsource it to people we knew could handle it. You know what I'm saying? So it's the idea of, we don't want any of the blame, but we want all the praise. But my question for you guys, go ahead, Jaydee.
No, I just want to, I guess, know a little bit more about it, because I know it happened, but I don't know the details. So we're talking about, they also own the Gone with the Wind stuff, the Wizard of Oz stuff, right? Every Warner property that's in the library.
Well,
and
remember,
they can do what they want with it.
they haven't really sold off everything of Warner Media. It's kind of like a shared idea. But right now, Discovery's focus really is the DC universe. That's one of the biggest things that they have their eyes on.
That's where the money's at.
Right, exactly. Right. It's like if someone bought Sony and Sony's like, oh, Men in Black. No, Spider-Man. Like, what the fuck? What do you think I'm here for? So it's just
Men in Black with Sony?
Yeah.
Because that's Marvel.
Right, and it's why they were trying to do a 21 Jump Street crossover.
21 Jump Street? I really would have liked that.
What? With Men in Black?
Yeah. You don't remember that? They were going to announce that at a Comic-Con, and then they scrapped it. But their original concept was to take Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum and combine them with whoever they, it turned out to be Tessa Thompson and Chris Hemsworth. But whoever the new legs of the Men in Black chapter were going to be, they were going to combine the two.
All right.
I have another idea.
Yeah.
We get all of Sony's upper echelon at a Comic-Con and they say these dumbass ideas in front of fans like us, and then security just kind of does this. For like 5-10 minutes.
I will say, Pete, that was one of the things that I was just like, you can just admit you have no ideas. Like, it's okay to just say you have no idea what you're doing. Because if that's what you landed on, you clearly had no idea what you're doing.
Yeah.
I got a good idea. Look for new property. Stop rehashing the old shit.
That'd be great. That'd be awesome. Yeah,
with it.
Sony legit is like Fox was, to where it's like, man, if these X-Men movies don't hit,
Sony
no idea what we're gonna do.
Sony has Valiant. I feel like they're not really capitalizing.
Valiant's dead. Valiant's dead in the water.
It doesn't matter. That's an IP. An IP that could.
It's an IP you could revive.
Yeah,
I mean,
revive,
again,
right.
Bloodshot was a great concept that just wasn't. They just didn't do right by it. But from the Joel, what Bat in the Sun,
Ninjak.
Yeah,
Ninjak was supposed to be in the works.
Right. So to me, they have an ability to strike up a whole new IP that generates them tons of money. And look, The Boys, that was a comic that many people could have said was dead in the water. That Amazon picked up and brought new life to it. So to me, it's like, you can do it. You can. It's just the idea that I don't trust anybody over there.
Well, besides Ninjak, Pete, they had another great property, which I don't know why they never pulled the trigger on it, but Shadow Man. It's Candyman if he was a superhero.
Yeah.
You could play the whole vigilante.
About him.
You could go to New Orleans, totally different. Look for your flick and stuff like that. You don't got to shoot in Vancouver, where every other superhero flick and show shoots at right now, where it just looks the same.
Sure.
So to me, you have the ability to do it. It's just the idea of just figuring it out. But to the question, I want to start with you, Joel. Mm-hmm. Let's say that this experiment between AT&T and Discovery falls on its face. Who would you realistically like to see emerge as a front runner to buying? Even if it's not all of Warner, because I know a lot of us probably don't care about everything Warner. Let's just stick with the DC part of Warner. Who would you like to see buy out the rights of DC?
Not Sony.
Because then we would get a Condiment King movie, we get a Kite Man movie, we get all that shit. We
do the opposite of what this company, what Warner Brothers is doing. We get all the lesser known fucking
right.
Kite Man the movie. That's what I needed. But I don't know. Amazon just bought MGM. I wouldn't be opposed to Amazon. Seems to be respectful of their IP, so I wouldn't be against Amazon. So what other company could buy them?
I mean, Netflix could, Apple could, but I try to remind people when they bring up Netflix, because a lot of people just don't know. But if you Google Netflix's net worth, it's nowhere near enough to what what AT&T would be asking to sell off any portion of their Warner property. They just don't generate enough money to make up what it would cost to get it. But if they could, it would fuel Netflix for the next 50 years. They wouldn't have to make anything else. Just make everything DC, and that would fuel you. for the next decade and a half. So
we'll definitely take a hit on HBO Max too. Like, oh man,
a huge hit. Losing that library.
Yeah.
No, for sure. Amazon, I do want to remind people they spend a shit ton to get MGM, but I do want to remind people there's a reason Jeff Bezos is the richest man in America. So if anyone could cut an additional check, it would probably be Amazon. And I feel like Amazon would be the only place that I could get something like God, I can't believe I just forgot his name. The Question. It seems like The Question is something no one over in Warner ever wants to do, right? Kevin Smith has been trying to get that off the ground for forever. Right. Amazon seems like the perfect place Kevin Smith could come right in and say, hey, let me do it. And they would go, do you? And it would be so accurate and so respectful to the source material of The Question. You wouldn't have to worry about the, well, who are we going to cater it to?
I have faith we might get The Question soon. Not soon, but based on what's his name? Who's doing Peacemaker again?
John Cena?
John Cena is Peacemaker. Who's directing it?
Oh, James Gunn. I'm sorry, James Gunn.
Yeah, James Gunn. So James Gunn has an affinity for those Charlton characters. And he has plans for other Charlton characters making appearances in the next season. So, like, I'm really hoping that one of those characters is The Question. If there's another season, of course.
Fingers crossed, because I will also say James Gunn does a really good job with, not really taking away who the characters really are.
Anything too, he digs deeper into it. Like fucking Peacemaker looks exactly like Peacemaker.
Exactly. And many people would say many studios would shy away from how fucking goofy he looks in that suit. But James Gunn was just like, no.
Embrace that shit.
And he's got John Cena, who embraces the straight man role to the point where he has no problem letting people make fun of him.
Oh, 100%. And I will say John Cena, I think he's going to really start to take off. I said it before. I got a chance to see the new Fast, and he's not bad in it at all, man. He doesn't give it the juice that The Rock gave it when he first came in. But I tell you what, he adds a whole nother layer to it that it needed. So, I hope this is now a takeoff for John Cena with these next 3 projects that he has coming out this year. So fingers crossed. He is good. He's good, and as long as you work around his talents, you're great. Just don't do anything drama. That's where The Rock fucked up. Don't do any drama with these kinds of guys. Just do those strong, funny
movies.
Do that. Because when you went to drama, I was just like, you're trying to tell me that I'm supposed to feel that this big ass muscular dude is really feeling these emotions right now? You want to go kill that guy? Come on now. But Jaydee, who would you like to see buy off the DC portion of Warner?
Well, it comes down to who has a streaming service, right? You got Paramount, which is making a big play, but I think the only one that has the surplus of cash that is not Bezos is Apple, right?
Yeah, and they need it. They need something.
I mean, we're coming down to it being the Trinity, right? What does Disney have? What does Amazon have? And who's the other part of that Trinity is Apple. And what are their, other branches of business? And they're already making content, but they don't have a broad channel appeal for their content, so this stuff does have that broad channel appeal. And let's bring it back for a second. They're not buying Warner Brothers, right? They're buying Batman and they're buying Superman. That's what they're buying.
Yeah.
Everything else is just like, oh, we got this. Okay, we'll put this. We'll leave this in the junk drawer for a little bit. Wonder Woman. Okay, maybe we could do. She was on a TV show. We got a few movies. We could probably do something with her. But they're really buying Superman and Batman.
For sure. Yeah. 100%. No disagreement there. And I will say, if you're Apple, you have to make a big swing at some point, because here's why Amazon's streaming service is thriving. Before they got The Boys and Invincible, there was nothing really taking someone to their streaming service, right? Like Amazon has plenty of good stuff there, but there was nothing really leading you to want to go there. Then when The Boys dropped, because that kind of IP is what's hot right now, what's been hot for over the past decade and a half, is that kind of superhero feel. So once The Boys came there, once you were done with The Boys, then it says, you know, if you like The Boys, you might like, and then that's when people were like,
Right.
oh shit, you have other shows. So if you're Apple, I'm sorry, go ahead, Jaydee.
No, if you're Apple, go ahead, finish
If
up.
you're Apple, you have good shows on there, but there's nothing big enough to just lead someone to want to go there to fish out to see what those good products are. So if you bring in something like DC, even if you don't have a brand new show you're ready to release, just the IP of what already exists is enough to get people to go there to go, all right, well, what else you got? You know, I'm here. Let me see.
Okay, so what else do you got, right? Now, all right, so we got the iPhone. I got an iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think people would be killing out there to have an actual iPhone with the, you know, the Superman version iPhone? Like you got the you know, the Invicta watches, or you know, Apple has their watches. Hold on, you got the Batman watch, you got a Superman watch, but go back to the whole Warner Brothers a lot. Dick Tracy's whole gimmick was the iPhone watch. You don't think they can make this whole big marketing ploy to kill at least 10% of what they put into buying that?
Calling Dick Tracy.
Not for nothing, Dick Tracy was a dope flick. I loved it when I was a kid.
I love that movie,
Now, and with the iPhone, come on, bro. I'll tell you this. I don't have an iWatch. I'm big on a commercial shit. I'll buy a Dick Tracy iPhone watch.
Yep. Don't forget, Michael Knight had that shit too. We used to talk to Kit all the time.
He did.
Yeah,
he did.
It would be a marketing. It would honestly be, because we know every time Apple announces a new iPhone, that whole thing that they do is huge. Even though all they do is tell you that you just have another fucking camera. It's the same phone. Just another.
They might not give you a charger on a new iPhone. I just saw that shit.
Yeah. Let me just say this. I just want the people in Apple to
Google
know,
that shit.
your ideas aren't getting like more creative. They're getting more lazy. You're just going, what can we add and take away? That's
what can we fucking fleece all of these assholes for next?
Right.
I just saw a commercial for a purple iPhone. Nothing new. It's just got it's a purple iPhone.
That's it.
Like you ain't gonna put a case on it anyway.
It's now become to where someone asks you what's the difference between like the 10 and the 11. It's so fucking hard to explain that shit. It's like, dude, I don't know. This one, I guess, can like, I don't know, drive for you. I don't fucking know, man. It's the same thing.
But just imagine walking into the Apple store and seeing DC shit playing the monitor.
Wait, time out. Jaydee, you know what would make Apple $1 billion day one?
What?
Just by Juwaan alone. You making one of the Siri voices fucking Batman. And it's any voice of Batman. Like you can choose the Adam West, you could choose Michael Keaton, you could choose Kevin Conroy. If I said, hey Siri, what time do the Knicks play? And fucking Batman's voice told me what it was. I'd buy 9 of these phones. Are you kidding?
Or have, you know, the entire DC catalog or portions of it available to you when you buy a new iPad.
Right. Yeah. Or get because I assume whoever buys a DC portion of Warner would probably still want some access to HBO Max or whatever. Okay. So it'd probably be HBO Max free for 6 months or something like that. Plus, one free title. Like you get, because by then, let's say the Batman is already on DVD. They'll add that movie in as part of the purchase of it. Like you get that movie for free with your device. Yeah, dude, we're making Apple money right now, and I'm not feeling
dude.
I'm not feeling comfortable making them.
That streaming service is more shit.
Yeah. And Apple could buy Discovery Warner right now.
They could. I don't know how someone over there isn't like, dude, Amazon is beating us in streaming right now. How? They have a superhero IP. That's all you need. It's really, I can't think of one outside of Apple that does not have a superhero IP.
Now, going back to Amazon for a second, I recall sometime last year hearing something that Amazon had such a surplus of money, and with the way new taxes were rolling out, they needed to claim it. So that MGM purchase was, I don't want to say a forced buy, but they needed to spend their money on something or lose it. I don't remember the entire details because I do remember at that point Warner being part of that discussion. But you know, it ended up being MGM.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, excuse me, I thought, you know, when they bought MGM, I just took that as right now they're winning. To put the whole James Bond catalog on there alone, just that alone adds more cachet to you. And if you're Amazon, because honestly, when you go on Amazon and you search through it, they have decent shows, but their movie catalog is limited. Like, you have to actually buy that shit. They don't have movies that's just like, you know what I'm saying, that you could just watch like any other platform. So to me, it's the idea of they have to do something to where it's like, oh, here, guys, you can go watch all the James Bond
But
movies.
they can't make new James Bond stuff just like that.
No.
You know,
I'm
the
just
two
talking
families
about
that have the rights. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just talking about the library, just the
But
library.
They got it at a good time because this is the last one that's coming in, you know, from the series.
And
So
I'll be very
fresh.
I'll be very interested to see, because we know what MGM wanted to do with James Bond going forward. But I'll be very interested to see what Amazon does with James Bond going forward. Because MGM was starting to lean more towards the idea of maybe him being black at some point. There were heavy conversations about it, James Bond being a female at some point.
Not James Bond anymore.
Right.
Right. So they were having internal conversations about really shaking things up with James Bond. So I'll be interested to see what Amazon does with it. But Pete, who would you like to see buy it?
Marvel. Simple. Disney. Just because at that point, us fans, we're the winners. We have exactly what we want. We have Marvel versus DC. Going forward, we can have all the movies and hell, all the comic books that we've always wanted. It was always a treat when Marvel and DC would cross over back in the day, and some were good, like the Spider-Man, Batmans. Those were dope. Some were bad, like the Amalgam universe, which I
What?
hated.
Are
it.
you kidding me?
Sorry, hated it.
Oh, I love the Amalgam universe.
And I liked what happened.
There's no accounting for taste. I'm sorry.
I love it. I love it.
I will
they finally
say,
got to heal Captain Marvel / Shazam. Dark Claw was a great character.
Dark Claw was a great character. Batman Wolverine combo.
I would be open to re-exploring it now. Teenage Pete was not feeling that at all. So I would check it out again and possibly, you know, reassess my opinion. I'm open to that. But at this point, like, I mean, just imagine seeing that fight with Batman and Captain America on the rooftop from JLA versus the Avengers. Yeah. That was one of the greatest fucking 2-page spreads I've ever seen. And there was not a drop of dialogue until the next page. Yep. So awesome. It was like a fucking straight up kung fu movie. Block, kick, bang, bang, boom.
Yeah,
there you go. There it is. My man got it at the ready. And that scene, that cover of Superman with Mjolnir and Cap's shield.
Oh, yes.
That's one of the greatest covers in all of comics. I don't give a shit. That's amazing.
I mean,
with that.
Go ahead, Jaydee.
I'm sorry.
No,
with that top Captain America in Endgame, if Superman were to carry the shield,
Jaydee,
I mean, that's
close. Do that, bro. If the movie, if at the end scene or the end fight scene of an Avengers movie, Superman lands, that trumps what Captain America did in Endgame. Wow. He wouldn't even have to pick shit up. Him just being there would be enough to make me go,
"What's going on?"
And we finally get to establish the, let's say, hierarchy, or rather the many-branched tree of who can actually beat who. Because we know damn well Thor should beat Superman, but at the same time, we also know that Superman can pretty much trounce almost everybody else as long as they're not magic-based. And we can have Wonder Woman just come in, like, you want the equality, you want inclusiveness? Wonder Woman can beat the shit out of everybody. Everybody. One of my favorite scenes, and I don't give the New 52 a lot of credit. I don't. But the Tower of Babel storyline in New 52 was tremendous. When when Wonder Woman and Superman started dating, and Batman was actually being honest with Superman, like, look, I got ways to take you all out. Like, don't fuck with me. Then when he shows Superman Wonder Woman's little box, insert joke here, and it was empty, and he was like, well, where's her weakness? And he's like, this is why you can't date, Clark. She doesn't have one. You're the only way to beat her. And I was like, yo, that's dope. Like that amps up Wonder Woman's character to the way she always should have been, because she should be Superman's equal, and she's magical. And I'll still never forget, again, to give credit to the Wonder Woman comics, and I don't know if that was Gail Simone writing it at the time, I don't remember, but when she turned around to both Batman and Superman, it's like, do you wonder why I don't have a rogues gallery? Like, she went full Punisher on him, like Daredevil, like, I put them down, they stay down.
Yeah.
Done.
Now I'll say this, because the stupid people were coming out saying like, oh, Disney's trying to buy it. To me, I kind of just feel as though you can only
dream. I would love it, but
you can only bat 1,000 so many times. So you have Marvel and you have Star Wars, and right now, if not for John Favreau deciding to want to do The Mandalorian with Dave Filoni, Star Wars would be floundering right now. Like they would have no idea what to do right now. Right. That's literally what's keeping them afloat, because those 3 movies were, let's just say, they were split. That's what we'll say. Those movies were split. They were very divided. So their television right now, or streaming rather, is what's carrying them. So they make more movies. So to me, it's the idea of one of them would take a loss. One of them. So we might get really shitty Star Wars stuff while they're focusing on DC to try to build it back up to its glory. You know what I'm saying? So it's just the idea of, I'd rather someone buy it that's the only thing they're worried about. That's it. When they wake up, DC. Go to sleep, DC. That's it. You know what I'm saying? But again, yes, it's fucking Batman popped up. Or if there was a bidding war for Stark Industries now that Tony Stark is dead in the MCU, and Bruce Wayne fucking buys it.
That'd be great.
How awesome would that be?
Yeah, Bruce Wayne's part of Armor Wars. That would be beautiful. But I do want it to go somewhere where it's the sole focus.
Uses the technology to build the Hellbat armor.
All right, Pete, listen. What did he say in Archer? I can only get Vasily Rex. Relax. Hellbat is something I've always wanted. I wanted that in Zack's Justice League.
I know.
Well, we're saying that. Batman literally was just standing there in that end fight scene, just like.
That bothers me. That still bothers me.
So I'm like, why not create the Hellbat suit so he could actually get in there?
I wish, because my problem with the visual of him with a gun, and I don't really like it. And
I agree.
All they have him all the time in those movies is with a gun, whether it's in the nightmare scene or the end scene with Justice League. I mean, he could do more than that. Like I watched where are the blow up batarangs? Where are those things at?
You know it's crazy, Joel? They regulated Batman to becoming a head coach, to where it's like he literally drew the X's and O's, but could not step on the court to hit a shot.
Then don't be there. That's what bothers me. If you're gonna do that, then stay up high above ground, or you can't get hurt.
Or he's supposed to be the stealthy one. He's the one that should be able to get access to the center of what you're trying to get to, while the commotion is going on. With the other guys.
I do think what would have suited Batman better is if to diffuse the what are those boxes called? The
mother boxes.
Yes, the mother boxes. I wish it was more so like a supercomputer kind of thing, like less Cyborg hacking into it and more Batman could actually like find a way to access it and shut it down, because it's just him using his intelligence to help solve a big issue.
That's another reason I was against Cyborg joining, like being a part of the Justice League, because I'm like, you bring in Cyborg, and I think that took away from what Batman does.
Right.
Okay. I'm like that because he's the tech guy and the smart guy. Like, what if you're gonna bring in Cyborg, it almost defeats the purpose. So that's another reason I never really liked Cyborg on the main team.
Yeah, because it's like, hey, there's only room for one smart guy here. Like you can't have too many because then it's a little redundant. So it's like, let it be Batman. So I think we all agree we're ready for AT&T to fully sell it off to somebody.
Right.
To somebody. And let me say this. I said this when we did GVN talk last Friday. I said the thing that scares me the most about if AT&T is ever willing to sell the rights to just DC anytime soon, what would scare me the most is whoever bought it would want to latch on to whatever's the most popular in DC right now, right? And then I told them what's most popular is whatever the fuck Zach says out of his mouth, right? So then I looked yesterday scrolling through Twitter, Forbes has a whole article about how if it's sold, they should let Zach do Justice League 2, 3, and whatever else the hell he wants. And I said, that's my fear. Whoever buys them would want to maximize profit. And we saw what that fan base just did for the Snyder Cut. And I'm like, I don't need more of that. Like, I want whoever buys it to scrap everything, throw everything in the garbage, start from page 1. I wouldn't want to continue on anything.
I don't even think it's going to be starting from page 1. I think it's going to be starting from whatever the fuck The Rock wants. Because once that Black Adam hits, dude, The Rock, it's going to be the way Feige is running DC, the way Feige is running Marvel, The Rock will be running DC. He's going to put his wife in charge. Whatever she wants, he's got.
Hold on, Pete. Hold on, JD. I just thought of like a Saturday Night Live skit where you have writers creating new DC movies and TV shows, and The Rock just walks in and he goes, "Oh, what are you working on?" "Oh, we're doing a Blue Beetle movie." And he goes, "Rip Black Adam 3." And it's like, he has to do other things. And he's like, "Okay, fine. You want to do Blue Beetle? Cool, do Blue Beetle." It's like, "Thank you, Rock." Main villain, Black Adam. It's like, Rock, no, no, we're not putting him in everything. And he goes, "Oh,
you see, Juwaan, now we're coming back on the roller coaster of why I like you. We're going to the top.
I just, as soon as you said that, I just immediately thought like them trying to have a squaring off with The Rock, and he goes, "Oh, really?" And we see the Batman starring
oh
Robert
man,
Pattinson and The Rock, Black Adam. It's like,
could we have one of the writers like yell, like he just gets in his face and yells at him like, "We can't have the Black Adam in every movie," and he just does that Rock look that, and he raises the eyebrow, and then like the guy gets thrown through the fucking wall.
or
and you have
to
to incorporate. I'm sorry, go ahead, JD.
Oh no. Do you see him on Instagram? Which is like focus.
And you have to incorporate somewhere in there. One of the writers is like, "Rock, I don't think it doesn't matter what."
Yes. I would love to see him do the people's elbow onto one of these guys, but I don't think like WWE would let that happen. That's got to be a copyrighted move or some shit.
Even though I say to this day, he did the rock bottom in one of those Fast movies.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
He did it, I think, in his, that one movie. I forget the name of it, but he did it. He did it, I think, all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I will say I was very disappointed that when I saw the first Expendables with Stone Cold, no one got stunner. Yeah. I was like, what are we doing then? That's a waste of Stone Cold.
Well, Pete said it. He always says it. If The Rock isn't doing the rock bottom to Shazam,
yeah. I mean, and it would visually look awesome. Shazam goes for like what he thinks is like the final blow. Black Adam ducks and then just rock bottoms.
I want to see like a 20-story fly up and boom, slam
down.
Yes, that would be beautiful. Look at this. We're making Sony money. We're making DC money.
Where's your writer's room? It's right here.
We got to stop, man. They're not going to give us any credit when they do all these things that we've talked about.
You know what? I'm just going to have you guys write extra titles for me. We'll just put all this shit in there.
I'm in.
I'm down. We have too many creative juices between the four of us to not put it anywhere.
Pete's gonna start taking over New York versus the world for me. Everybody dies.
Yes, but JD.
Oh, I'm killing everybody I ever wanted dead.
You have to make it law that Pete cannot kidnap people.
Are you kidding me? That's the only place where he will be able to get away with kidnapping.
I've got carte blanche now. These people ain't real. But I will instruct the artist to make them look like real people.
Yeah. Right. And then wait, Pete, here's where the genius comes in, right? He kidnaps people. He kidnaps 4 people. And the first letter of each of their names spells out Sony. So that way you can get away with it.
Wow. See, I think he would want at least enough people to spell out Jersey.
Oh, look at this. All right. I'll see you guys next week on the rant. All right, let's move on. I want to take a quick second.
I can't front. They Jersey got a good pork roll sandwich, and that Three Brothers Pizza down by the shore, man.
I know you will not give us respect after disrespecting us in the group chat, Pete.
Oh no, that's a totally different ball game, man. They don't get to find out about that.
You know what?
All right, let's do. I want to do Toy Corner really quickly. I want to show off some new figures that I got. These figures both excite me and frustrate me. I don't know what happened to Jaydee, but he's completely like in a black frozen. I just looked up and I'm just like, that doesn't look right, but okay. All right, I want to start off with Mattel has a DC line that they have. So I picked up Alfred.
Oh, that's a movie Alfred.
That's the movie, and you know what's crazy? He comes with 3 different heads. One's the cartoon one. One is the Michael Caine one, and then one is this one.
Oh wow, that's a really great likeness.
That's how I recognize him. That's pretty good if I can recognize the original Alfred. Jesus.
Fresh off. And then KG Beast.
Oh wow.
Oh shit.
Yeah, love it.
KG Beast.
Knives, and then this knife is removable, and then can go right back into this little.
I have a Batman comic with the KG Beast in it. He looks nothing like that, but
I like this look, by the way.
It's not bad. The one I had though, he if that even was, now that I think about it, was that the KGB? But yeah, that's the first time I was introduced to him. That was like an 80s comic.
Yeah, I only knew KGBs from that Suicide Squad animated movie.
Oh,
he was the first person to die. I was just like, oh, okay.
And they use that character weirdly enough in a lot of, secretly in a lot of different IP. Like Arrow forever had fucking KGB.
He was in
BVS. He's the guy with the flamethrower.
Mm-hmm. Now, these are some of the ones that really piss me off of this line. Here is Jason Todd. It does come with the red hood helmet. Now, here's what pisses me off. Do you guys see those guns in that holster?
Oh, they don't come out, do they?
They don't come out, Pete. What is that?
They're glued in.
That's dumb.
Why? Katana. Now I had to pick up my girl Katana.
Nice. That's new 52 one.
Yep, new 52.
It's a nice face sculpt on that.
Right? That's what I thought.
Yeah.
For Joel, I had to get Red Robin. Had to go pick up.
It's a nice looking figure.
Had to show him some love.
I just don't like that name, man.
I don't like the cape. It's plastic. I'm very come on.
I don't mind the plastic cape. Like I had the Buccaneer Batman. He had a rubber blue cape. That shit was dope though. It didn't really bend much, but I liked it. It's firm.
Now here's the perfection. But I'll tell you what pisses me off about this figure. Here's the Batman, right? Ooh. And look at the cape. Look how it's not
cloth.
Nice.
Yes, this is how all capes should be. But let me tell you what pisses me off about this Batman figure, that apparently I have to read better when it comes to buying things.
Uh-oh.
Would you guys like to know who this Batman is? It's the fucking Dick Grayson.
That's All-Star Batman?
Yes.
It looks like All-Star Batman. Look, pick it up again.
Oh, good.
That definitely, I looked at him.
He is kind of skinny, though.
Yeah, that's All-Star Batman. I looked at him, I'm like, it looks different. Why does he look different? He's skinny.
Bro, I was so angry, Joel, when I opened it. And I was just like,
well, now you gotta get Robin to go with it.
Yeah, apparently. So all these figures are one line and they assemble one massive. Oh God, you can't even see it.
Good.
But Killer Croc. It's Killer Croc.
What the fuck?
It's a huge Killer Croc.
Is he green?
Put him. Oh, you can't even put him against your shirt.
Green or gray?
Yeah, I can't. It's all green, but I have an actual green screen. So yeah.
Yeah, that's why it looks like that. That's hysterical.
Yeah,
that is pretty funny.
I didn't even think about that when I lifted him up. I was just like, oh yeah, no, I get it. I get why he's not showing
it's
up.
Funny. Yeah, that's Green Croc from what? The Hush?
Yes, from Hush. Yep.
I nailed these motherfuckers.
You are nailing. Secretly, Joel is making millions off of creating these toys. So that's the line that I just got. They got a separate line, Joel, that you would love, that comes with the CW's Black Lightning.
Nice.
Dick Grayson, which suit the original one, the first one. Yeah. Starfire, Beast Boy, Cyborg, but the Teen Titans animated show Cyborg.
Okay.
Yeah, so the thick one, the thicker cyborg.
Not the Go one, the one before that.
Right. So they have some nice lines with these DC figures. The only thing I hate about this line was the katana sword. Not a good sword. I'll show you.
Is it rubbery?
No. I just mean the design of it, not the actual like texture or anything. Just the design of it. I'll show you. It's not the greatest.
It's not a katana. I don't like that one. It's not a katana. Yeah. Oh, it's straight. I don't like that.
Oh yeah,
I don't like that at all.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I don't like that at all. And there's no sheath.
And it's got the curved tip, so it's a single edge. It's not even like one of those Chinese broadswords.
Yeah.
But it's got the friggin' hilt and pommel like a Chinese broadsword.
That's what bothers me. And it's not curved a little bit like a regular katana.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't know what it wants to be. I'm not a fan.
And my staff for Red Robin. That was very important that they added that in there.
Well, Tim Drake is the original Robin with the staff.
Right. For you Titans fans who thinks Dick Grayson's Robin had the staff, he did not have the staff.
Not originally in the comics, no.
Right. Which is why when we interviewed him, the first thing I asked him was, "Hey, what's up with that? Why? Why do you have that?" But also for you, Joel, I told you I was gonna get this.
Oh, that's Duke.
Yep.
That's We Are Robin Duke.
Yep. Comes with his mask too.
Yes.
Oh, I got a few. Oh, you want to see his mask?
Yes.
I'll show you his mask. It's not even really that good. I also got the Alfred heads I want to show you too. Let me see. It's somewhere in here, I think. Where's it in the bag? Okay, I don't know where. Oh shit, right here. All right, so this is We Are Robin.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
But do you know why I didn't like it, Joel? Because I thought it was Guardian. I thought I bought Guardian.
It looks almost like what's his name? Orion a little bit too.
It does. Here's one of the Alfreds. Looks like the Colonel.
That's a good head, yeah.
Looks just like the Colonel from KFC.
That looks like fucking the 70s one.
This is the other one.
That's the card. That's a comic cartoon one.
Yeah.
Classic.
I was excited with the three heads. Now, I did want to ask you guys, I didn't know who the hell this head was, and they had no explanation for it, but this came with the Alfred heads.
Is he bald?
Yeah.
That's not
looks like a zombie almost.
Beware the Batman? He was bald.
No, this is because the face is all white.
Oh, he's pale?
Yeah, it's pale.
I have no idea.
Yeah, maybe I don't know why it came with it. That was really weird, but yeah.
Oh, pale face. I'm not sure.
That was extremely weird. So that was Toy Corner. Pete, did you get anything new recently?
I actually have not gotten anything new. Maybe next week.
Oh man.
I do have a quick shout out though.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So this past week on Pete's Basement, I did an interview with this dude, Jerry Ma. He's a homegrown New Yorker. He's got this Kickstarter that's still got a few days left. If anybody wants to check it out, the story is called The Monkey King, a Chinatown Odyssey. And it's basically this old Chinese folk tale with a whole New York twist where the monk Triptykaka has to gather all of the Monkey King, Sandy, and Pigsy, and then they have to make a journey through all of the Chinatowns across the country until they get to California, where they have to learn Buddhism and then return to New York to kind of save Chinatown. And it sounds like a dope story. That the first book is 64 pages, and Jerry's got some really great rewards on there, not the least of which is being drawn into the last panel of the book, which my ego will always force me to take that. That's going to be my reward that I always go for. But, there's a lot of other cool things. Got some really dope variant covers. But the best thing of all is that all of the stretch goals go toward charity. And Jerry literally hand delivers these red envelopes, which is like this traditional Chinese gift giving thing. And I'm going to mispronounce this, I'm sure, but it's called like a hung bao or something like that. Yeah. And I'm sorry if I'm absolutely butchering that word, folks. But Jerry literally hand delivers these envelopes to small businesses throughout Chinatown, where he would visit all the time with his parents and everything. And these people, he was on New York One recently, just this past week, and these people are just so grateful for like when they finally realize like there's no catch to this, like this is all on the level, because somebody comes in and they're just handing you a money full of envelope, an envelope full of money that you're like. We're New Yorkers. We ain't ready to accept this. Like, what's going on here? But, it's all on the level. It's really dope. And Jerry just keeps adding.
No.
All of New York is going crazy. So for our YouTube viewers, Jaydee said that his block lost power. That's how Jaydee went out.
And we're back. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Apparently, it's going. Poor Jaydee lost his power in his neighborhood. Yeah. I'm on the verge of losing mine. Fuck you, Verizon. Thank you. Anyway, really awesome stretch goals. Campaign's fully funded, so at this point, it's just straight rewards for us. And like I said, there's a couple of days left on the Kickstarter, so check it out if you can. The video's up on the Pete's Basement YouTube, and the link to the Kickstarter is in the description of the episode.
Nice.
Make sure you send me over that.
I will.
And I'll put it in the
Monkey King seems to be very popular these days.
It's a an open property. I forget what the actual term.
Yeah, it's I know what you it's one of those IPs that anybody can use.
Yeah, when it's old enough that it's fair game for everybody. I can't think of the name.
No, I know what you mean. It's like the Universal Monsters, technically.
Right.
All right, our last topic here before whatever storm is happening out in New York tries to take Pete away from this episode.
That's two, man. Third time's a charm. Computer's just going to explode.
I call this mix and match. We're going to do something like this again so Jaydee can be a part of it next week. But mix and match, it's to take a director and their respective successful movie franchise and place a Marvel, DC, or Star Wars or a G.I. Joe character and place them in that franchise and revolve the movie around them. So I'll give you an example. I'll give our viewers an example. So I would take Han Solo and place him in, I did this just for Jaydee, Mad Max. Ooh. I would put Han Solo in Mad Max and make it a little bit more futuristic, but the same concept.
Interesting.
That
just be Mad Max, but not playing.
Well, that's why I said I would make
Mad
it a little more futuristic to where it's still the concept of Mad Max, but obviously it's more futuristic. You have your spaceships and whatnot, but it's still the core concept of what that last Mad Max brought us. But I'm centering it around Han Solo and whatnot. And the reason I had this idea was if you watch Solo: A Star Wars Story.
I got one.
Oh, you got one? Okay.
No, when you're ready.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass it right to you. If you watch Solo: A Star Wars Story, parts of it feel like the world of Mad Max, but it's just so futuristic. And we know that Mad Max isn't really that spaceships and flying cities kind of thing. But if you find a way to bring it in, find a way to kind of bring them together, I think that'd be a really cool, interesting pairing, is bringing those two together. So I'd bring the world of Star Wars with Han to the world of Mad Max. Joel, what are you mixing and matching?
Oh, I got it. It would take place in the 1940s, and it would be the Howling Commandos and Steve Rogers and Lucky Jim against the Predator.
Oh, that's good.
That.
James Howlett.
I like that a lot. Are
what?
You
that would be no.
That's good, man.
Are you serious? Oh my god. Are you adding James Howlett to that?
Yeah,
team?
Lucky Jim.
Yeah.
James Howlett.
Yeah.
That's what they call them in Ultimate Universe. They call them Lucky Jim.
And you know what would be super dope, Joel, is that no one knows that he has the ability of
exactly. When you read the book, you didn't know it was him, and you find out it's James Howlett. You're like, who's? Oh, it's Wolverine. What the fuck? You're like,
oh my god, bro, that's printable money right there. Are you serious? And then at some point,
they have the rights to Predator and Alien too.
Yeah,
they do. They do have it now.
I just gave you money.
If they want a sequel, you could even bring in the idea of Alien and Predator versus the Howling Commandos, where you're expanding it to where it
Yeah.
gets harder.
You can even like if you don't want to do Commandos, you can even bring it up like during Nam or whatever, and still include at least Wolverine and maybe the Punisher.
Yeah.
And James. You're like, holy shit.
And one idea, when you said that, the first idea that popped in my head is like, how would you get those two franchises, like what would bring those two together? And I immediately thought you could take what's his name's character from Thor Ragnarok that Jeff Goldblum played, get his brother, and have it that his brother assembled this as a way to try to wipe Captain America from the history, is to take him out when he first started as Captain America. So he compiles this contest, because one of the Predator movies, I think with Adrian
Brody, yeah.
That was a contest kind of scenario.
The best hunters from Earth versus the Predator. Yeah.
Right. So, you could make it a contest from one of Marvel's elite contest creators that he's trying to wipe out Captain America before he even really gets started. So he's trying to take out the Howling Commandos by facing them off against. Oh my God, Joel.
That's good. Hell, the sequel could be Nam, and it's like Wolverine is still in the army, and now he meets Frank Castle, and he's like, I've dealt with these things before.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No, we are just making him too much money this episode.
Damn, yeah.
That would be really cool to watch.
I think I'm gonna name this episode "Printable Money." Like that's legit. That's what it's come to. Oh my goodness. All right, so Pete, throw mine in the garbage. Let me just say, throw mine in the garbage. But
I had some fun with this one. When you explained to me what you meant, I really thought about this, and I'm like, you can throw Blade in against almost any of the horror movie franchise guys. I was like, fuck that shit. I said to myself, let me paint a picture for you. All right, the Queen of Atlantis, after a tryst with human, gets dragged back to the Undersea Kingdom. She's pregnant, and to flee a very overbearing king who does not want a half-breed son, that least of all is not his bloodline. He chases the queen away. He has his guards go after her, and they kill her right after she gives birth, trying to save the kid, and she throws the kid like just into the ocean. Let him try to find her. Nobody finds the kid. Don't know whatever happened to him. Fast forward, it's a girl swimming, whatever, she's having a nice nighttime swim. All of a sudden, she gets pulled under, gets eaten by none other than a half-breed fucking Aquaman who was raised by sharks.
Oh, shit.
So you turned Aquaman into a Jaws-type horror movie.
I like that. Would be dope. That would be dope as hell. And instead of like the fin, it's like him holding the trident.
Yeah, so anything. It could be like the shit from his costume or whatever. I don't care, whatever.
I like that. I like that a lot. I love that, honestly. That would be really, really, really dope.
Just like a campy, silly, man-eating Jaws horror movie.
You know what? I want to throw mine out, and I actually want to steal a mix and match from our good friend Angel, from over there from Goat Movie Podcast. And Angel's concept of mix and match was Jigsaw has gone on a murder streak like never seen before. And the cops cannot nail who this guy is. So they call in the ultimate detective.
Sherlock Holmes. Fuck.
Right. Oh, no, Joel. That's not Sherlock Holmes. He calls in the Batman to solve the riddle of Jigsaw. That is a perfect pairing right there.
And he runs into the question who's already on the case because he's so damn paranoid.
Yes. That's who I think it was going to be the question.
Wait, could you picture Batman shows up and like he just looks over and the question is just taken down? He's like, what are you doing here? It's like, oh, I've been here for like 2 weeks trying to figure this out.
It's really annoying.
It's difficult, man. He is good. But no, I would love it because I wouldn't need to see Batman fighting. Like, he's not fighting a
mental.
It's all mental, and we've never had that before. Someone that even stumps Batman. You know what I'm saying? And that's why Hush was so good. It's because Hush was able to stump Batman. It was difficult. He couldn't figure the shit out. So a story kind of like that, but with Jigsaw, and Batman having to just be
Batman and Jigsaw movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be.
I like it. I
That would
dig
be
it.
awesome. That would be awesome. But goddamn, half Jaws, Aquaman.
Like, what if he looked like he's all got fangs and shit, like out of the trench, and he just like jumps onto the boat and there's Quinn.
And
I
maybe
think we're
he's
gonna
dressed
need a
like the
bigger
trench.
gun.
Oh
Man,
yeah. Or maybe he's dressed like, or maybe he's raised by the trench.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Just
Oh
they
my
can't
god!
kill
Could you
him,
picture
right?
Could you picture if Jaws, like it was legit Jaws, the same kind of shark, but he was legit just King Shark. Like it was legit
King Shark.
Jaws. Like it's legit just Jaws though.
Yeah.
That
Jaws
was
featuring King Shark. Yeah, that would be funny.
all right. We got to stop because James Gunn will go.
We could do this all day.
Oh, okay. And all we need is for James Gunn to try to revive the fucking Trench movie. That's all we need. But no, I like this, man. Joel, yours really is
That's
with my
man. That's serious.
Oh,
That's money. I'd go see it in the movies.
I didn't even have
I'll
one
see
until
it
you
in
just started
movies.
talking about it.
I'd want it to be in a continuous loop in my brain to where it's like I wake up and it just like it clicks on the TV and it just starts playing.
I got the idea because the Bat in the Sun did Wolverine versus Punisher.
Right.
That was really dope.
Predator.
And I'm like, oh, I would love to see that happen, Wolverine versus Predator. And I'm like, whoa.
And I'd be really interested if they brought in Alien. Could that acid do anything to Cap's shoe?
That'd be interesting. Vibranium.
Mm-hmm.
Vibranium,
It's never going up against anything like that. There's really no Marvel villain that has an acid that's strong.
What would that? That's another good question. What would you put those? What's another name for them?
Xenomorphs.
Yeah, Xenomorphs.
Yeah.
Well, so what would go up against Xenomorphs?
The Guardians of the Galaxy.
The Guardians versus the Xenomorphs.
Oh, I was gonna say.
They've been versus the Brood, so why not?
Yeah.
Venom versus.
Venom versus Xenomorphs.
Yeah, Venom versus the. Because could you picture if they found a way to
a lot of teeth and spit
to get it off of Eddie Brock?
Oh, imagine a symbiote Xenomorph. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. Look, let me just say this, Kevin. If you could just call the four of us to let us direct a season of What If, I promise you, it would make you more money than any show on Disney.
What If would be really fun with us.
if he let us just go wild with it, it'd be the greatest thing ever. Just let us do it.
What if somebody hires Lobo to go after the Venom Xenomorph?
Oh my god!
And it like just bites him and it just doesn't do shit. And he's like, "Ow!" Just punches the shit.
What is this? Like yuck. But no, I would really
definitely have to come up with some other good ones because there's a lot that can be done.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could maybe do this mix and match more often. This is fun. I like this mix and match.
I was confused at first, but I'm like, oh, I kind of get it now.
I don't remember what I was watching, but I was watching something and I just went, you can mix those two. And I was like, let me see if I can make this into a topic on the show. So I'm glad we all understood it and had some amazing ideas. You guys just, god damn, I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board, man.
And we don't know what Jaydee had in mind yet, since we lost power.
Well, we'll have to make sure we do it again next week. Come up with some more, and then let Jaydee.
We'll come up with another one next week, and then we'll see what Jaydee got.
We'll do another mix and match. I would also love to see Guardians of the Galaxy meets
E.T. Right? No,
I was gonna say Indiana Jones. Like it's legit the hunt. Not a hunt, but like a discovery mission. Because you look at Peter Quill and you go, you can kind of see the Indiana Jones and what James Gunn has been doing.
Our Lord Indiana Jones.
Yeah. So I'm like, that would be very interesting. Last thing I want to end this with, speaking of Peter Quill. Pete, did you hear Kevin Bacon saying he would love to be a part of the MCU, but specifically, he would love to be in a Guardians movie as Kevin Bacon? It needed Star-Lord.
Footloose, that would be great. Oh, that's awesome. I love when like stars have like the sense of humor that.
To me, I mainly loved it because that was one of the best lines out of Infinity War, where I'm paraphrasing here, but he He said like no, she said like Kevin Bacon, and he goes, I don't know, I haven't been to Earth in a while. He might be an Avenger. I have no idea. But I do have to say the Guardians really stole Infinity War from everybody. Like between their scenes with Stark and Thor, where he said, who do you work for? Like, who do you praise? And he's like, am I supposed to say Jesus? It's like, whoa, what? They really outdid themselves. James Gunn writing the Guardians for that movie, they did an amazing job with that. But yeah, to see Kevin Bacon come in, even if he's not just as himself, Kevin Bacon should be in the MCU as something.
He said this early enough now that James Gunn can realistically put this in for part 3, just anywhere.
Anyway,
that'd be great.
To where
I think we're gonna get Mark Hamill, I think, in the next Guardians because that
would be pretty amazing.
Yeah, and think about this: Star-Lord's not been back to Earth.
That's true.
True.
So you could end the trilogy with an end credit scene of him finally taking Gamora back to Earth to show her Earth.
Well, no, he has. He was in Endgame, yeah.
Yeah. That they were on Earth before they left.
Oh yeah, okay. I give you that.
That's the last time he's been on Earth. But I don't know,
he's obviously not in a rush. I didn't remember it is because as a watcher, it made it seem like it was so like they finished the battle. He went to New Asgard with Thor. They left. You know what I mean?
You forget Endgame, that battle, it looks so like surreal. You forget it's on Earth. It's so fucking crazy.
They're literally like upstate New York, as it were.
Yeah. Imagine living in upstate New York and seeing all that shit going on from a distance. What the fuck is going on?
Like, honey, come here. Look at the window.
Look at that shit.
Is that Iron Man? Like, what is this?
That's where the Avengers place is at. Oh my! I told you it was not a good day.
I told you they were doing some crazy stuff.
Some shit's going down.
But yeah. So the last topic I did have, if you guys have something for it, cool. If not, we can go ahead and get out of here. Was best quote from a comic book or comic book movie.
You want to wait until next week? We'll hold that one for Jaydee.
Yeah, let's hold that off to get Jaydee on here.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, and I want to do favorite rated R movie when we have Jaydee also. Yeah, we'll just wait on it. So the last thing I'll ask is, people have been going crazy about this, but can we go ahead and just tell them how stupid they are? Why was everyone looking forward to a Spider-Man trailer today?
I don't know. Yeah, I saw like people were going like, "Oh, there's gonna be a Spider-Man trailer." Like, I don't remember anything.
Who are they basing that off of?
That was based off of rumors because apparently some of the theaters got the Spider-Man trailer in, and so some guy said that he figured it'd come out Tuesday, and that's why everyone was waiting for it.
So, is it accurate that theaters have the trailer footage?
We have no confirmation, but there are a lot of people reporting that they do have it, but it could be this week or it could be next week.
I think if they had it, it would be leaked.
I would agree with that. But also, here's what stresses me out the most. And Pete, it always goes back to our issue with marketing. I don't understand why they hide shit like that. Like, if you're gonna drop a trailer, just say you're gonna drop a trailer. Yeah. There's literally no harm in that. Like, it doesn't take away. Like, if you drop it tomorrow and I don't know, I'm surprised. If you tell me you're dropping it tomorrow, I'm still surprised. Whatever's in the trailer is the thing that surprises me, not that you drop it.
Nope.
There's no person in this world that thinks we won't get a trailer before the summer's over.
Obvious.
So it's like, if you decide to drop it at any point between June 1st and August 31st, it's like, who cares? Just announce that you're dropping the trailer and boom, great.
Yeah, we know they're going to do San Diego Comic-Con, but we don't know if Marvel's going to even be there. And if Marvel is, I doubt it. I just doubt they're going to be.
I don't think Marvel will be. I honestly don't think they will be. I think when Feige did that shareholders meeting where he was announcing this stuff, that's probably the most they were going to do for the.
But that was from that to me was from last year. That shareholder thing.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
But like this year, I don't know when they plan on doing that big part, because D23 is every other year. I don't know if that's this year.
No, they pushed it, so it's next year.
All right, so it's next year. So that's the thing. We know DC's doing Fandom in November or October or whatever the fuck. We don't know when Marvel, because Marvel did that thing in December or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Like, randomly at the end of the year. You know what I mean?
I don't know. To me, I just kind of feel like Feige won't do anything this year because think of everything we know, right? Nothing's going to change about everything he literally just told us. So to me, I could see him skipping out this year and maybe doing something in the second quarter of next year.
I don't think he'll skip. I think he has to give us something because, like, by the time we get to the end of the year, we've already gotten Loki, Black Widow, What If, Shang-Chi, Ms. Marvel. A whole bunch of shit has already passed. So you got to give us something. Like, there's titles that in 2023 we still don't know. Like, we don't know yet. And then there's information that needs to get out. So I do believe we'll get something. I just don't know when. And unfortunately, last year was at the end of the year. We may have to wait to the end of the year to get something.
That's why I'm a little bit nervous because I don't know. That was such an anomaly for them to do that. Now things are starting to go normal again. Marvel doesn't Kevin specifically doesn't usually do fourth quarter things. So I don't know. They're usually
that was a Disney thing though too. It was if Disney does something.
That was a whole Disney event. So I'll say this: if we don't hear anything about Disney wanting to do something Star Wars this year, I don't think we'll get anything Marvel this year. I think they'll want to kind of bundle everything. And that's why I say I think maybe first quarter or second quarter of next year, like around spring of next year, is where we'll get like, we'll still get news throughout this year. Like I think this year won't end without us knowing who will be, some of the a little bit more information.
I'm talking about more like slate type shit is what I'm talking about. I know we're gonna get more information. Casting we'll get. I'm talking about like slate, like that one conference call, like the
right. Yeah. Wait, and that was December? I feel like that was like a month and a half ago.
It's definitely longer than that. I don't know if it was last year. I just know it was definitely longer than a month ago.
You mean when he came on and told us the Marvels and
No. That was recent. But I'm talking about the Disney thing.
Oh, but that's what I'm talking about. The thing where he came out and said the Marvels and everything. I feel like when he did that
was recent. Well, that was recent. That was like, here's a little thing. That was a very small trailer. And that was very small. That wasn't a lot of anything. I think that was like a sneak peek.
Yeah, it was just title cards.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I think. If they were going to show up at something, it would be to showcase trailers for stuff and then to just give you what's coming. But since he just told us what's coming.
Yeah, but
Disney may have their D23 later.
No, D23, they kicked that can the next year.
Oh, did they? I didn't know that. Okay.
That's what I mean. So they might have another Disney thing like they did last
year. I hope so. I
hope so too, because that was exciting.
Year will be out by then. So it'll then become how far are they in other projects that they can maybe do something. Like, because I'll tell you right now, San Diego Comic-Con will be shut down if Kevin Feige walks on that stage and gives us our Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
of course.
It'll be shut. It won't matter what fandom does. Fandom can do whatever they want. You give us a Fantastic Four, just who they are. That's it. I mean, Joel, we lost our mind with Blade. we legit almost cried on live seeing Ursula get that.
You can watch that online if you want.
Yeah, you can watch that online. That was definitely one of me and Joel's craziest moments. Was just screaming.
It was fun, like doing that because it's just like getting the news or getting a live action Blade again randomly. That's how it ended. You're like, oh shit!
What made it so much fun for me and Joel was, remember, we weren't watching that. We were getting the information from people who were there.
Yeah, it was feed.
So it's like we couldn't even see it till obviously they released people recording with their phones and whatnot.
Like refresh.
Right. We were madmen that day. That was an insane day.
That was like 3 years ago or some shit. 3 years ago.
Yeah, man, that was crazy. But that definitely shut everything down. Was him being Blade, because it was just like, oh my god, I never thought of that.
Drop the mic.
So, but all right, guys, that's all we got for you for this episode of Figure It Out. Again, a huge shout out to Jaydee. Losing power. It's so crazy, Joel. We get a lot of talk about Jersey, but my power.
We got lights.
Power good? Yeah. We got good Wi-Fi. We got good lights.
Connection seems fine. And I'm right over the bridge.
Right? Yeah. No. For our listeners out there, this is a fun little rivalry between New Jersey and New York on this show. Two from New Jersey, 2 from New York. But all love, definitely all love. I have to put that PSA out there, Pete, because me and AJ go to war, GVN talk, and people message me like, bro, like you guys have to calm down. You don't have to hate each other. It's just, it's just comic. It's like we don't hate each other. like I just
AJ's just typical.
I just remember think most of what AJ says is nonsensical, and that's coming from someone who lives in the most nonsensical world. So it's like, if I think you're insane, you are insane. So it's brotherly frustration. That is legit all it is. So I have to put the PSA whenever it seems like there's some pettiness out there.
That's okay.
It's all up. It's just,
I appreciate the pettiness. If you got a good jive, throw it. I love zingers, man. I've been dodging zingers all my life.
It's legit why our group chat is the best. But again, huge shout out to Jaydee, Pete, Joel. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this all new episode. Pete, can I show off the book that you sent me?
Absolutely, yeah.
Let me show that off real quick.
Oh,
huge shouts out to Pete. I love this. This is the PI from Lovecraft. I have not started it yet, but since I told you I'm taking my grandfather to the doctor's tomorrow. It's a long process. I'm gonna crack this baby open, read it on the drive there. Huge shouts out to that. Also, I wanted to showcase this. This is some sexiness right here. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that beauty right there, man. Are you serious? And it's kind of like a postcard kind of thing. Like, I like and then the sticker for it.
Nice.
Love the sticker. And then as Joel showcased, the one thing, Pete, that I loved also, because people don't do this, it got a bookmark that came with it too.
Right.
You don't do that anymore, man. People do not underestimate how I will lose my place like there is no tomorrow.
And I will never fold down a page. Like, I'll do it in a book. I will never do it in a graphic novel.
You know what, Pete? I'd rather read from the beginning than to fold the page back. I'm not. And then
I'll remember faces.
Yep. You know what it is? Trying to remember where you are in a book is like when you fall asleep binging something on Netflix and you wake up and it's in season 6. You don't even remember season 3.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I gotta remember.
Definitely done that shit.
Yeah, I'm mostly digital these days, so I don't have to worry about it. It remembers where I was at.
Netflix, for some reason, you'll wake, like, that's why me and Joel were saying there should be like some kind of technology that like can sense when you're asleep and just kind of like stops.
Yeah.
Because Netflix will get you pretty far and then go, hey, you still watching? And it's like, no, of course I'm not. Of course
you don't know bridge that way.
Yeah, it's like I'm asleep, dude. That's your purpose. You're supposed to put me to sleep with some of these shows. But yeah, so I definitely appreciate that. Pete, did you want to give a quick plug for that?
Yeah, enjoy it, man. All of that stuff was sent to me by a good buddy, David Kahn, who is the author of Lovecraft PI, and he's got 2 books out right now. It was The Curious Case of Reanimator and A Shot in the Dark. And they take all of Lovecraft stories, just kind of couple them together into this really like old school Maltese Falcon gumshoe detective stories. And you can find them over at Darkside Media. And just give a Google search. I'm pretty sure it's darksidemedia.com, but might not be. Might be one of them other suffixes. But nonetheless, really great stuff there. And he's always got awesome Kickstarters. He's always got really awesome rewards on the Kickstarters. I'm very big on indie creators and stuff, so I'm always after any kind of like new stuff that might be on Kickstarter, any kind of really awesome rewards. David has had like resin busts of the characters, little mini statues that you could build like models and stuff and paint yourself. He's got coins, he's got the bookmarks, the postcards, the comics, all sorts of great stuff. And just check it out, Darkside Media on Instagram, Facebook, etc. Give him a follow and tell him the Basement Boys sent you. He'll appreciate it.
Absolutely. Make sure you send me that link also, Pete.
I will.
I can pop that in the video too. Last thing before we get out of here, huge shouts out to Emily Swallow. No joke inserted there.
I love Emily Swallow.
Got an interview with her.
You lucky motherfucker.
We talked The Mandalorian, and we talked, very shockingly, me finding out she was Dracula's wife in Castlevania. She voiced Dracula's wife.
Mm-hmm.
So, very interesting. We talked a lot. Tried to pry some Mandalorian season 3 out of her, but she was not good. She just said, I know nothing. And I said, that means you know everything, man.
Oh my God, I've been in love with her since Supernatural, man. She was so hot on that.
You know what's crazy? Huge shouts out to Star Wars Theory. He had her on for one of his episodes where he was talking, obviously, Mandalorian with her. And I was just like, oh, who's that? And then she was just like, yeah, you know, when I was the armor, I was just like, oh, what? So I was like, I want to talk to the armorer. So I got a chance. And she's amazing. The interview is up on gvnation.com. Make sure you guys check that out. Amazing time with her. Loved it. So make sure you guys check that out. But again, Pete, Jaydee, Joel, thank you guys so much. And we'll see you guys next week. Till then, peace.
Salud, everybody.
Let's go.
The mix.